So a bit of an impromptu episode because we saw a thing and I just loved it so much that I had to talk about it.
Yep.
And then I wanted to taint it with this questionable choice of an alcoholic beverage. So let's get started. Welcome back to another episode of the Know Nothing Show.
Happy National Gingerbread Day.
Happy National Gingerbread Day.
It's not relevant or anything.
Not many are aware of National Gingerbread Day, but
because
hey,
it makes no sense. But go
Zero.
ahead and Google it. That's what it is today.
hey, 0 cents in June. Let's go ahead and change that to
Let's,
6 months later.
Sure. It works though. Let's
Yeah,
go.
let's do
That's
this.
what we're doing.
So speaking of sweet treats, we have, I think, an alcoholic beverage in front of us. I would never know.
I was about to just down the whole thing.
You would never know. This
doesn't taste anything like alcohol.
So this is a Sandia Hard Cider. It is their Lavender Hard Cider.
Good.
It's delicious.
No, I
right?
could drink
So,
10 of these very easily.
It is juice.
But listen, it's a good juice.
It's delicious.
This is a summertime juice. It's beer.
I
So
know.
it's cider.
I know.
It's cider.
It's cider. No. The correct word is cider. Yeah.
But it's...
No, it's delicious. Like, let's be honest here. But it's sweet, right? Oh my gosh. Don't do it. It's still 5.5%, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, it easily could have.
Yeah.
But that shows you the amount of alcohol that's in it, or I'm just weird.
No, I mean, you can't taste it. It's a very easy drink. It is delicious. The lavender, I mean, comes in maybe really slightly.
Yeah.
The aromas are actually a little bit different than what we're tasting.
Yeah, it does not smell good at all.
Yeah, so we were worried when we were smelling it.
Interesting. I like it.
I had no idea what to expect.
I like it.
I am not a cider drinker. I guess I am now.
I mean, I'll drink this one.
Yeah, and they have a
drink
bunch
this
of
one.
them. Sandia Hard Cider has like a bunch of different flavors. If they're all this good, I can't see how you would go wrong buying one for a summer outing. Hot summer day. Get this as cold as you possibly can.
Yeah, chill it up a little.
it'll go down so easy, and you will have no problem having
good.
a few.
I like it.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Summertime beverage for sure.
Absolutely. Wouldn't have this in the winter at all. But man, go out, grab some right now. Delicious. Sandia Hard Cider, Lavender Hard Cider.
I'd even argue it's as high as an 8 for me.
I was thinking 8.
Yeah.
I was thinking 8.
I'll go 8.5
When
because
we're
we had the same
alive,
score last time. Because I really do enjoy it. Yeah.
People are going to start questioning our methods.
I know. How our ranking system works,
I know.
we don't know.
I'm going to start writing it down on a piece of paper. We're going to
Yeah.
flip it over at the same time. This is random, guys.
It is what it is.
We do not converse about anything prior to filming.
Drink local.
8. I would give that an 8.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll go 8.5. It's good.
It's
good.
very
I
good. Very
just
easy
chugged
drink.
half of it, so it's very good.
All right. On to our main topic for today.
Just a quick one.
Real quick one. We
'cause
were not planning to film
No.
today. I honestly wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to get to the movie, but I did. Thank goodness. You and I both saw Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
I'm gonna do my own thing.
All stations, stop Spider-Man.
To me, it was so good that I text you immediately saying, "Can we film? I gotta talk about this movie."
It's funny because I actually didn't know. Like, that's why. Like, I didn't know you enjoyed it so much. That was why.
That I was like, we have to
Yeah, I was
squeeze
like,
it in
yeah,
there.
sure.
We have to squeeze
Like,
something in.
this is what we do now. So
Yeah,
I'm like, all
this
right.
is our normal day. But we didn't
Interesting.
plan anything, and
No.
so I was like, let's get something on the books because
Okay.
I want to talk about how much I love this
Well,
movie.
I'll let you go first on this one
It's
because I really liked it too.
so I really equate this to the whole Dune fiasco, right? And I love Dune beyond belief, but one of the main gripes that people had with Dune was that it was half a movie. And
Half of a story.
half of a story.
Yes, it is half of the story. It is
Right.
not half of a movie.
Okay,
It is a
so
full movie.
That's a good point. That's a very good way to put it because I feel like Across the Spider-Verse has the same approach,
Yeah.
right? It's half of the story, full-length movie, half of the story.
Correct.
And I could see where people would get upset with it. Not me.
But why are people
Not
upset
me.
about it?
I don't know.
We knew long ago this was part 1.
But
part 2.
This was
'Cause this is a trilogy, so it's part 2.
It's 2. Yeah, it's the second in the trilogy.
Yes.
It's part 1 of this particular story.
Funny that you brought up Dune, because you're right. Same thing happened
it was
with
the
this.
same.
People
it was
were
the
so
same thing.
upset.
But everybody knew that this was the first part of the story, right? And so, this one though does sort of leave you like right in the middle, right before the action is about to occur.
So good though.
No,
That's a great feeling.
It was a good move.
That's a great feeling. I love that.
I
don't
could
know
see
why.
where if you were none the wiser whatsoever, because you're just an average moviegoer who walked into a movie and this happened to you, I could see where you'd be like, wait, what? I don't understand what had just happened here. And I get that. Aside from all that, I wanted to get that out of the way.
Okay.
I wanted to just put that on the table so we don't have to discuss that anymore.
Part 2.
Part 1 of
Or part 2 of 3. I don't know.
the second one, but the first
day.
part. I love this movie.
Yeah.
And I particularly love the family dynamic that they continue to draw from between Miles and his parents. I love the continued Spider-Man approach of I have to hide my identity, but so me having to hide my identity in order to save people is what is pulling me away from the people that I care about the most, right? So I have to save the city, but I lose my friends and family. I continue to love that storyline for Spider-Man, but we get it from Miles's perspective. I really, really enjoy it so much. I didn't really know what this movie was about. I don't know if maybe I missed it, but quick breakdown. So there are canon events that occur across all the different Spider-Men or women, and they're basically all the same, right? They have to lose someone close to them in their lives.
Yeah.
And many times it's an uncle, right? Or it's a father.
Yes.
In Miles's case, it was going to be both.
Yes.
Right. And so, and that is because he was not supposed to get bit, right? His spider comes from a different Earth, a different universe. And so, are we calling them universes? What are we saying?
Universe.
Yeah, right? Different universe.
World.
So basically, he was going to get screwed both times.
Yeah.
So then he has to say, all right, let me go and try to stop it. And they don't want him to do that because then he ruins everything. I love that idea. I love that he is going to try to prove everyone wrong because he thinks he can do both. Right?
Yeah.
I can save my dad and the universe. So I always do both. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. Save my loved ones and save the world.
Yes, and be a hero.
Yes. And so, again, I love that storyline. The voice acting in this is still so top-notch.
Oh, man. In my theater, the volume was low, and I asked them to raise it, and I was pissed. But at the start of it, the volume was so low.
It was low in mine, too. I would have gotten out of my seat and told him to raise it if I didn't have kids with me.
Oh, I'm the ultimate Karen when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
I will go be like manager, like raise.
Did you go to the same theater as me?
I don't know. Probably not.
No?
Probably not. No.
Okay.
But I was.
That's
I was
interesting.
upset.
I was
upset.
actually I was so tempted to take my kids, walk over and just be like, hey, can you just turn it up a little bit? Because I can barely hear the beginning.
I do it. That's the one thing I'm like.
Yeah. It was not.
I
so
get
actually,
really upset
the
about.
sound mixing must have been off then. I thought it was the theater, but if we saw two different theaters,
I mean,
and the volume was low, then the sound
volume
mixing
was
must
low.
have been really off. So that's interesting.
Okay, good to know.
But Oscar Isaac, I think, kills it as Miguel.
Yeah.
Right. We get Haley Steinfeld continuing to kill it as Gwen. I always forget the actor's name that plays Miles.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's
see him in my head for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see him perfectly in the booth, in the sound booth. I'll put him up right here.
Yeah.
And continues to kill it, and I think it's a perfect match. And I really had a
Jack Johnson
excellent
too.
Oh man, Jack Johnson coming back to reprise his role as Peter B. Parker.
Yep.
Just a fantastic job. A little humor. This movie's funny. This movie's dramatic.
Yes.
Right? You get some tears in your eyes. Ultimately, it's a great time. Great action sequences. I mean, seriously, guys. I want you to point out something terrible
Yeah,
about this
yeah.
movie. Really.
And don't
Are
talk
you about
about. No, I was gonna say, and don't talk about the ending. That we don't know what happens.
I know. That's
That-
why I wanted
you
to
can't
just like
point that
hey,
out.
No, yeah, because again, they made you aware of it, and again, for those who weren't aware of it, which I'm sure were a small percentage, I did. It was so long ago that I did forget about it, but then once it happened, I realized, oh yeah. I remember this was part one. It was one of my most anticipated movies this year.
Oh, yeah,
I
we
think
knew
it
it.
knocked
We knew
it
it.
out of the park. I'm really excited that I took my kids. They loved it. So family friendly.
Cool.
But if
That's what I was
adults
worried
love
about.
it- yeah,
That's what I
no,
was a little bit worried
they
about.
were absolutely on board with it the whole time because there was enough action to not have them bored at all. So again, all around, I can't really see many flaws, if any, in this movie. It is
Man, they didn't have a
fantastic.
banger like they did for the first movie.
That's true. This
Like
is for the
Post Malone's
soundtrack.
Sunflower, like people are still jamming out to that song.
Yep.
And I didn't. At least maybe I missed it, but
Just at the
there's no
end,
like big
no.
jam right now that people are just like.
That's true.
Like that song's still great.
The
Song is
yeah,
still great. That's the only.
the first
that's
one,
my downfall
like the
from
first
the-
one, like transcended the movie, right? Like
Yeah.
it was like beyond the movie. It was the
Yeah.
music. You pointed out to me, it's the shoes, right? Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like there's more to the Spider-Verse than the movie itself, which
Yeah.
I think is just fantastic.
It,
Goes
like-
to show how great of a universe they built here. I think amazing. All
And
right.
there's still a
gonna
lot.
let
I
you
mean,
go.
I don't disagree with you on anything. I really enjoyed it. I loved the fact that you have to make decisions as a hero. You have to
Yes.
make decisions as a person. Like
Right.
we all do every day.
Yeah.
And for me, like the whole time I was like, what would I do? Like, how would I handle this situation? Why is this so impactful for me? Because I don't have to make superhero decisions.
Right.
But we all have to make decisions every day. So I loved seeing Miles struggle with that. And
Yeah.
I loved the back and forth love-hate relationship that I had with him. Because
Oh,
part of me was
nice.
like, dude, you got to save him. And part of me was like, dude, you can't.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how this works. You don't
Right.
always get what you want. And then 2 minutes later, I was like, come, you're going to do this, Miles. I believe in you. You got to save him. And then 2 minutes later, I'm like, dude, stop. Look at the chaos you're causing.
Yeah.
I'm like, who cares, man? Run from them all. Like, you can do that. So, like, I had a huge back and forth with this movie and just the emotions of it.
Yeah.
Which is why I love superhero movies.
Oh yeah.
And that's why some superheroes bother me so much, because they totally forget about that. They totally put that gut-wrenching feeling and decision on the back burner. And then to those projects, they're not as impactful as this one.
Right.
And that's why this story is so amazing, because he has to wrestle with that decision.
Yes.
Am I saving him? Am I letting him go? Am I, do the people in my life, are they really here for me? Are they here for another purpose?
Yeah.
What is all going on here? And he's 16,
Ooh.
15, 16, something like that. He's
Yeah.
a young kid having
He's
to deal
young,
with this
yeah.
stuff. And I super, super loved that. Just, there's so much more to go. I love the video game. I know, actually, I guess
yeah.
I'm finding out now a lot of people didn't like the video game,
Oh,
which
interesting.
I liked Miles in that rendition
Yeah.
too. So the fact that
yeah.
this is part 1 of 2 or part 2, whatever, like
Yeah.
it doesn't bother me.
Right.
I loved the fact that the movies were so far apart.
Me
From
too.
my understanding, part 3 is already coming next year, which
Yeah.
I don't like,
Because it's too fast for you.
because it's too fast for me, and I'm sure they figured it out with animation and stuff that they can just do everything together.
Yeah.
But it's still, for me personally, it's more impactful to have that waiting.
Oh.
And then I will say this, which I've said to people, and it's caused an uproar again, my goodness, is I feel like I predicted the twist ending a little bit.
What twist ending? Oh.
So here's what I predicted, and I like to say.
Okay.
I knew Miles was going to come face to face with himself from another world. You have to.
Oh, right.
It's multiverse. I didn't
Yeah.
know, spoilers, I didn't know the version he would run across would be the Prowler.
Yeah, that he's
that,
the
That I
Prowler.
didn't know.
Yeah.
But I'm like, he's going to come across some alternate version of himself
Yes.
at some point. And then it kept not happening. And I was like, well, when is he? I
Yeah.
thought when they were doing the whole spider chase that he would like bump into somebody. He'd be like, oh my God, it's me.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was going to be the Prowler.
Gotcha.
But I knew he was going to have to run into himself at some point.
Yeah.
Because that's the point of
That's
multiverse travel.
That's like yeah.
That's why
that
we
happens
do it.
in those movies.
That's why there's all these spider people from everywhere, and there's not another miles somewhere,
Right.
and I know it wasn't supposed to bite in. There might not whatever. But I'm like, he's got to come across himself at some point. And then it kept not happening. And I was like,
You're like,
really?
what?
They're not gonna. He's not gonna have that interaction with himself.
Yeah.
And then it happened. And I was like, nice. Oh, he's the Prowler, even better than I could have expected.
Yeah.
That's great. That was a good twist for me.
I think that
I like
again,
that.
the Spider-Man movies specifically, I think always wrestle with the idea that Spider-Man is his own worst enemy. And so
Yeah.
I like that they put it right there in front of you, literally.
So good.
Right? So now he is actually his own worst enemy.
Yeah.
And that's how they leave us on the cliffhanger, right? So good. Such a good cliffhanger.
Childish Gambino?
I know.
Dude,
Oh,
yes.
dude, when that
Yo.
happened, I was people in my theater cheered, and my
Yeah.
kids were like, "What?"
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, "I'll show you later."
Like, so good.
But they brought
I
in
thought that was awesome. But like he was actually there.
he
which
was
I
the
thought
real
was
one
cool.
was there,
And he's so nonchalant, just like the way he is.
It's so
like all the
funny.
time. I was like, let's go.
This is the most like I thought the last Spider-Man, what is it? No Way Home or
Oh yeah, no way. The Tom Holland one.
yeah,
No Way Home.
with all of them.
Yeah.
I thought that was the most Spider-Man-y Spider-Man movie we were ever gonna get, and this movie
Yeah.
makes that one look like child's play. This is
This
the
is-
most
this is
Spider-Man-y
very good.
Spider-Man movie you will
Yeah.
ever see,
They
with
got-
all the
They
references
got
and
the clips
everything.
from
Yes,
previous
yeah.
projects,
Oh, we
like-
had everybody.
But it was done to the correct amount.
Right,
Like they didn't
absolutely.
show too much.
Nope.
They didn't just show a flash like
yeah,
they
that
showed
stuff
the
doesn't
right amount.
overshadow the
Correct.
new stuff.
and I loved that.
Yeah,
He
the
was
new
playing-
stuff is front and center still.
I don't know if you caught it, but when he's trying to change to go meet his parents for the teacher conference, when he goes through his dorm, his Genki's playing Spider-Man.
Oh
playing
yes,
the game.
yeah.
I'm like,
I did.
let's
Yeah, when he's
go.
like, "This is my process." or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
Like so, like little stuff like that. I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
It
Again, I
was
think
it was great.
yeah,
I mean, it was
it's-
such a fun time.
It was fun. I mean, above everything else, this is just a really fun time. And again, for everybody, adults and kids. And so I really hope that this has a really long legs.
Yeah.
Man, it's hard because I know that they're going to have part 3 come out next year. I mean, are they done with this universe? It's so good that you want it to continue on, but at the same time, you don't want it to get tainted by any mistakes that they could possibly make. It's such a good world to live in, though. And I really, really enjoyed it. I actually also enjoyed that we started off on Gwen before we went over her whole story, and we got the kind of what brought her to the I forgot what the with Miguel and the team.
Yeah.
And kind of what led her down that path. And I love that. I love that we got a taste of developing a lot of these other storylines, so we cared about these characters a little bit more
At the end when everything came
so when
together.
everything comes crashing down, you are worried about everybody and everything.
Yeah.
And you can't do that by putting both of these movies into one movie, even if you made this 30 minutes longer. So I'm really happy.
It wouldn't have helped.
Really happy with the way that they're telling this story. I cannot recommend this movie enough. Whatever you're doing this weekend, you cancel it and you go watch this movie because it's fantastic.
Let me know about the sound. Now I'm so curious.
I know. If anyone else goes, let me know.
And
if
yeah,
it
and
was
your
low.
volume's really low. Is super strange.
I should not be hearing people like rustle with stuff in the movie
No,
theater.
never.
Right?
No.
It should be loud enough that the person eating popcorn next to me should be silent.
Correct.
Like I
Yeah.
shouldn't be hearing hands and buckets and stuff. So
No, so that's strange.
interesting. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm excited for what's next.
Oh.
I loved the real quick the scene when Gwen comes in and he's going through his room.
Yeah.
And she pulls the action figure and she's like, "Why is it still in the box?"
Oh.
Dude, everybody in my theater, oh,
What did she do?
And I it hurts so bad. He's like, no, please don't touch that. That's
Yeah.
mint box. Please don't touch it. And she's like,
like,
and rips it off. And everybody's just like, tear fell down their face.
But there's
I'm
just
like,
so many of those
but
cool
you
moments.
have to pay attention. Like you have to.
But how
pay
many times
attention.
can you watch this movie? 100?
Yeah,
I mean, the
you definitely
replayability
can.
on this, like a video game,
Yeah.
the rewatchability on
Yeah.
this is insane. So
And
was the first one. The first one had a ton
Yeah,
of
which I saw a
rewatchability.
couple times for
Yeah,
sure.
you can watch these movies over and over and over again, and you will see something new every time.
This will be an awesome trilogy to rewatch.
Oh yeah.
My understanding is they'll try to bring him into live action. Like that'll be the next step.
Okay, and I'm okay with that.
That is what I would love to see.
Yeah, I'm okay if that transition happens.
As a live action.
Do the 3 animated, transition him over into live action.
The thing that's bumming me out or starting to bum me out is spin-offs of things.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not as
No.
exciting.
We don't need a spin-off. I mean, again,
Like,
we're
I would love a story of Gwen. Like, I love her. I truly, truly do.
but we're getting that already.
Like, but she's already involved enough. Like,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
take her to, like, bring her to, like,
Right.
take her with Miles. Like, you can do all that.
Right.
That's just...
Because this is, I mean, it's not a Miles Morales movie. It's not, the
No, it's
title
just-
of the movie is not Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Right? It's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. We get a
Yeah.
ton of Gwen. We
Yeah.
get a ton of Miles. We even learned about Miguel.
Yeah.
We are diving into all these different Spider-Man's lives. We know a lot about Peter B. Parker, right? Even from the first one.
Yeah, a little
and now he
baby.
has a baby.
Yeah, a little baby.
Right? But obviously he got back together with MJ. I mean, again, like we know a ton about all these different Spider-Men.
Yeah.
And they're doing an excellent job of balancing it all. Yes, we get the deeper dive into Miles' story, but ultimately, I think we're getting a really good mix of all these different spider people, and it's fantastic.
I'm excited.
Me too. I'm so excited. I cannot wait for the third one.
This movie's a 9 out of 10.
I already
for sure.
told. I'm gonna go. I'm going 9.5.
9.5?
9.5, and because now I'm worried about the sound. I'm worried about sound mixing.
That is very strange.
I'm worried. You're right. There wasn't a banger, right? So soundtrack wasn't as good as the original for sure. I could see where people would also gripe about kind of mid-story cliffhanger stuff.
I guess I don't
Tiny things, tiny stuff in this.
I know. Now we
movie.
gotta find stuff.
Yes, like really tiny stuff that goes wrong in this movie. I mean, and to say it even go like we're at the point where I think it's just preference, right? Like it's just I didn't like it because it's not my kind of movie. But you can't say this movie was not done well. Yeah. And that's where I think we're at in this movie. 9.5 for me.
I'll go 9. I mean, that's because I like rarely give anything.
I know.
Over.
Anything over 9.
So I'm like, this movie's a 9 for sure. Can't wait to see what's next. I hope it's a long enough waiting period to like die to like I have to see the third movie.
Yes, yeah.
Because like I'm not at that point yet. I'm still high.
No,
on this
because we're
movie.
hyped up. Yeah,
I'm
on the
still
original.
good. So I hope in a year, which I'm sure once box office and everything, the talk of it dies down, I'll be ready for the third one.
When you get through all the seasons, I feel like you'll be ready for another one.
So
I think you'll be good to go.
I'm about it.
And I want to do a big to-do for it. I want to like watch the first one, watch the second one.
So I'm
go watch
getting
the
the
third
Jordans
one.
for the next one.
Yeah, don't
That's
pass them
for
up.
sure.
Dude.
I know. That'll do for sure. We'll wear them to opening night.
Fantastic. Can't recommend enough. Go watch it, guys. Amazing movie.
9 out of 10. This beer is also.
I know. This beer must be a 9 out of 10 for you because you finished yours already. Yep. I wanted to talk about something real quick that I honestly didn't know what was happening. So I'll let you kind of elaborate a little bit on it. You got us tickets for something.
I got us tickets to Oppenheimer in July.
But special tickets.
Main reason being is Oppenheimer is without a doubt my number one most anticipated of the movie of the year. There's no movie behind it that's even close. I'm beyond excited. I can't express it enough. But the fascinating part to it is you and I are going to go see it on opening night in 70 millimeter.
They won't fear it until they understand it. And they won't understand it until they've used it.
I cannot wait.
Which is fantastic. Which
so
is
excited.
film, which is actual film. It's not digital.
Right.
It's an actual roll of film. And
Can't wait.
that is so rare. It's so special. So it's only happening in 30 movie theaters in the world.
Yeah.
Is my understanding that they're showing this format.
Amazing.
And it's interesting because you would have to see it side by side to know.
Yeah, and that's true.
Everything is
That's
done
true.
in digital form. So like
Right.
I can record something on my phone right now and throw it up in a movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing with film is it's an actual cut on a roll of film.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it look different and makes it feel different. That's the way it was filmed and intended to be seen.
Right.
Yes, they'll still have digital copies of the movie, but to see it on a roll of film is how the director wanted it to be viewed.
Yeah.
And he even came out and said, if it's not important to you, please save those showings for people that do want to see it in film, and that happens to be us.
Yeah.
It's in a very small theater.
It's gonna be an intimate event, I think.
Yes, and I'm hoping we get like some sort of like.
Because last time we saw The Hateful Eight in 70 millimeter. That's the last 70 millimeter movie I saw.
It doesn't happen. Like you don't watch movies on
So how
film.
long ago was that, right? And we got like a little
We got a book explaining why film is important.
So I really hope we get something very similar. I'm so excited. And I love the idea of I filmed it this way. I'm going to show it to you this way. And it's going to be exactly what I envisioned, right? And
yeah, because it's formatted completely different.
Yes, so
I don't know exactly what the format is. I don't want to say it. But
it's
not
like it's
16 by 9. Like it's
no,
not.
it's
your
the
traditional.
Panavision. It's the ultra wide, right? And so it's gonna be beautiful. We already know we're gonna get a very wide viewing angle.
Yes, it's gonna
be
look
bright,
so real,
crisp. Yes.
Which I know that doesn't make sense because you go watch something in digital and it looks very real.
And you're like, wow, that looks very sharp,
but
right?
to watch something on a roll of film is the realest you can actually view something.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be much different than when after he filmed it and he goes back and he watches it, right? Other than that they color grade it, right? And then they edit it, but it's like that is what we are watching.
Yes.
And
that's insane. That's insanity.
Incredible.
It's gonna there'll become a point when it'll never happen.
Yeah, it's a dying, and that's a great point. It's
like
a dying art.
A roll of people don't know what a roll of film is. And we learned about it in school, and we learned the value of it. But I also went to school in a time when we didn't film on film.
Yeah,
we filmed in digital. Like everything was digital, and IMAX cameras weren't a big thing when I went to school at the time.
Yeah,
IMAX cameras still aren't a huge thing. I mean, they're doing a lot of stuff with IMAX cameras, but they're not.
Well,
they're not, I don't want to say that they're not common, but not a lot of people are using them.
I'm pretty sure, and we can probably look this up, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Endgame was the first movie, and I might be wrong. It was filmed start to finish on an IMAX camera. Because they had IMAX footage in movies.
Oh yes,
right?
But it was like 9 minutes.
Yeah, but exactly. Yeah. So then fairly recently is IMAX like a full movie in IMAX. That did not happen. It's been very, very recent that has actually occurred.
I feel like the last one was last year.
There's usually like one big, like Avatar.
Nope. Was what it was. Nope was like, I believe, beginning to end. Yeah. But like most famously, the first movie ever, I think, again, correct me if I'm wrong, was Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight.
That had an
but
IMAX
it was only
camera.
Like 18 minutes. Like it wasn't the entire.
It was a scene. Yeah.
Yes,
or two scenes.
And at the time, it's a super like famous story. But
at
the time, he broke one of the cameras, and there was only like 4 of them that existed in the world.
Yeah, and he broke one.
And during the scene when they flipped the semi, I believe it was, he broke.
Oh, I think it's the
camera.
Yeah. Well, I think that scene, but I think they break it under the bridge.
Something in that sequence.
Yeah, that
he broke one of the cameras, and they were like.
So they're like, let's give you a film camera.
like you can't.
Oh my god.
Do this, and if you see an IMAX camera, they're big. I mean, they're like these big cameras, but it's important to know that you can still film that way.
Yes.
But again,
it's just.
I don't want to talk.
Yeah,
too
we could
early,
go all day on why this is important to us, but ultimately, it's a dying art. Yeah. It's not going to happen very much longer, I don't think.
But like, are we talking Oscar for cinematography here, possibly?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't want to jump on that stuff too early, but like,
because it's people who care about it, and that's what we're gonna see. We're gonna see people who cared about their craft to the highest caliber, right? And so we are gonna get to view that, and it's a really special event. And I can't wait. I'm so happy you snagged those tickets for us.
I'm pumped.
Great.
And granted, this movie is. It's
3 hours.
3 hours and like 97 seconds.
Oh yeah,
or something is what he said. So it will be tough to watch it again, but I will have to go to the fake IMAX theater.
Yeah, we'll go
to
the Limax.
Yeah,
we'll go check it out. Yeah.
But
super excited
for that.
There. Before that, we have The Flash, so we'll be catching The Flash. That'll be our next episode.
Yep.
So
Next
the
week.
15th, we'll be watching, maybe filming that. So
I keep forgetting it's a Flash movie. I keep thinking it's a Sasha Kaya movie.
No.
But it's not. It's about the Flash. I'm confused.
the Flash is in it.
She
whatever.
hasn't responded to me yet. She will. She's busy. She's on her press tour
Super
right now.
busy right
so
now,
She'll
man.
get back to me. It's
Exactly.
not
Give her
worried.
time. Give her
Not
time.
worried about it.
So please stick around, like, subscribe. You want to catch our Flash review. That'll be our next episode. And as you heard, we got Oppenheimer coming up. Got a busy summer, guys. Please ring that bell so you know when we got a next video up. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
Later.